Hare Krishna. You can start the class when you're ready, Sri Narayani Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat
Hare
pranam.
Krishna. Dhanyavad.
Hare Krishna. मीटिंग कितने बजे तक वो नॉट ऑफ द मीटिंग दैट क्लास कितने बजे तक स्टार्ट होगी माता जी?
It's ready. You just start now. As soon as Mataji is ready, she can start the meeting.
That means we are waiting for the Narayani Mataji only.
She's already on the group. She just hasn't unmuted yet. We're ready to start.
Okay. This is the right group where we will get that class now.
Yes, live now.
Okay, thank you. Thank
you. You can put your video on, and Sri Narayani Mataji.
ये क्या है? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please accept my obeisances. Yes, you may start.
Hare Krishna, everybody, all the Vaishnavas. So let's start with today's class. I hope Lata Mataji is here and everybody is here. I'm just starting.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Yes. Me too, Mataji. So first let's do Mangalacharan and then we'll start with the Bhagavad Gita. Today's verse is chapter number 4 and verse is 27. So let's do Mangalacharan first. Om Agyantimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshururmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayarupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutpadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saigan Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvaitam Savadutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saigan Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopiyakanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishbhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalptarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschyatya Deshatarine Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate gram. Tam kripatam ham vande Shri Guru Dīrataranam. So, welcome all Vaishnavas to the Bhagavad Gita class of Krishna Balram Temple, Vrindavan. And today we are discussing chapter number 4 and text number 27. So, you can all recite with me. sarvāṇīndriya-karmāṇi prāṇa-karmāṇi cāpare ātma-saṁyama-yogāgnau juhvati jñāna-dīpite. Once more, let's recite once more. sarvāṇīndriya-karmāṇi prāṇa-karmāṇi cāpare ātma-saṁyama-yogāgnau juhvati jñāna-dīpite. Other, let's do the Sandhi Vichhed. Sarvāṇi. Sarvāṇi means of all. Indriya, the senses. Karmāṇi, functions. Prāṇa-karmāṇi, functions of the life breath. Cha, also. Apare, others. Ātma-saṁyam, of controlling the mind. Yoga, the linking process. Agnau, in the fire of. Juhvati, offer. Jñāna-dīpite, because of the urge of the self-realization. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Other who are interested in the achieving self-realization through the control of senses, mind and senses, offer the function of all the senses and of the life breath as oblation to the fire of the controlled mind. Purport. The yoga system conceived by Patanjali is referred to herein. Okay, I'll read from the screen only. Herein, in the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, the soul is called Pratyaga-atma and Paragatma. As long as the soul is attached to sense enjoyment, it is called Paragatma. But as soon as the same soul becomes detached from such sense enjoyment, it is called Pratyaga-atma. The soul is subjected to the functions of 10 kinds of air at work within the body, and this is perceived through the breathing system. The Patanjali system of yoga instructs on how to control the functions of the body air in a technical manner so that ultimately all the functions of the air within becomes favorable for purifying the soul of the material attachment. According to this yoga system, Pratyaga-atma is the ultimate goal. The Pratyaga-atma is withdrawn from the activities in matter. The senses interact with the sense objects like the ear for hearing, eyes for seeing, nose for smelling, tongue for tasting, and hand for touching, and all of them are thus engaged in activities outside the self. They are called the functions of Prāṇa-vayu. The Apān-vayu goes downwards. Vyan-vayu acts to shrink and expand. Saman-vayu adjusts equilibrium. Udan-vayu goes upwards. And when one is enlightened, one engages all these in search for self-realization. So I pray to the lotus feet of all the Vaishnavas to bless me so that I can speak on some words on this verse. This verse have been very nicely explained by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. And as you can see that this verse is talking about the control of mind and senses. So let's read the translation line by line. Other who are engaged, other. So that means in the previous verses also, like Krishna was telling Arjuna that how this yogis are controlling their vayu and everything. So they are saying others who are interested in achieving self-realization through control of mind and senses offer the function of all the senses and of the life breath as oblation to the fire of controlled mind. So first of all, let's understand I will request everybody to please mute themselves. So I will first of all get into what are the senses. So there are two types of senses. One are our jnāna-indriya and other is our karma-indriya. So jnāna-indriya are those senses who are giving us the knowledge, like eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and our skin. So these are the 5 jnāna-indriya. So from which we are perceiving the knowledge from the outside world. And there are 5 karmendriya also. What are the karmendriyas? Karmendriyas are like hands, legs, our genitals, anus, and again the tongue, because it eats also and it speaks also. So tongue are like 2 indriya, because it has a functioning of getting the knowledge of taste and also the work of speaking. So in these 10 senses, there is a one thing that is especially our knowledge senses. This is 5 indriyas. Basically, they take the data and they give it to mind, right? So mind controls basically all the senses. So these senses gives input to the mind, and the mind starts contemplating on all whatever have been seen. In today's life, we can see that there's so many agitations round about, like in our sense enjoyment, we are all after sense enjoyment. So what we have for our eyes, we need a lot of movies, we may be needing lot of even our Facebooks and our so many engagements. So we are introducing everything, we are engaging our eyes in so many things. Our nose is running after beautiful smells, and our ears are hearing so many loud, mundane music. So all these senses, and especially the tongue. This tongue is eating anything and everything. So, and the skin is being engaged in so many sense pleasures, so many things where we are engaged in. So now these senses just take all contaminated inputs, and using all these contaminated inputs, our mind starts gathering all the data, and with these gathering of all the data, they start storing the desires. I give a simple example. For example, if we see some chaatwala, right? If we see some chaatwala, so what will happen is that we may not be eating it, but we have seen, so our eyes have tasted it. Eyes is after running. So what will they do? They will just keep the data of the chaatwala, and in few days or so, we will start contemplating how tasty it would be if we could have that chaat, if we could taste that chaat. So someday again, this mind, this man is so strong that it will develop a desire. It will desire to taste that chaat. So one day you will always say, oh, I have a desire of tasting the chaat. Why not? Let's go to the stall now. And the man is so naughty. You know, it will give you all ways and all the roundabouts of how this is not bad. You may be a devotee and you know that you don't eat outside, but this contaminated mind will somehow or the other, because stubborn also. Krishna says, Chanchalahi mana Krishna. So this mind is also stubborn. So it will give you all the ways and means why you can taste the chaat, why you can have that, even if not offered, even if made by contaminated person, but still you would like to taste it. Why? Because the mind is so stubborn, it is so determined that it will not listen to you, right? Your intelligence may be weak. It may tell you, oh, you're a devotee, you should not taste this chaat because this is not good, this is not offered. But still the mind is so powerful, it will tell you that, oh, you can have it, it's no problem, once a while you can go, there is no problem, okay, otherwise you can take offered tulsi with you and you can put in the chaat and you can have it. So point is, this this mind is so manipulating. It's so manipulating that it keeps on manipulating us. It keeps on telling us that we are doing right. We are always right. We are always the best. Right? This is what our mind tells us. Our mind always tells us that, look, you are such a good devotee. You don't have to see so many things. You're already done so much, so you can little bit deviate. That doesn't hamper your devotional services. So you can do that. So their mind is going to tell you that. So, like, if we see that what is the function of the senses and what is the function of mind. In a lecture given by Srila Prabhupada on this particular verse, Prabhupada says that Sevan Mukhi hi jihvado, right? So this mind is so stubborn and determined. So what we can do is, that we have to divert this mind to the service of the Lord. If we don't give the positive engagement, it is going to disturb us where and then. So how to control these senses and mind? As what is given in this verse, Krishna says that you have to offer your senses and mind as an oblation in the fire of controlled mind. Because as Krishna says, the controlled mind is the best friend of ours. To generate that best friend, the worst enemy can be converted into the best friend. How to convert this mind into the best, from best enemy to best friend? So we have to convert this by controlling of mind and senses. Now question arises, how can we control the mind and senses? So point is that this mind and control can be is so powerful. We have got so many examples in Vedas where we see the example of Vishwamitra, where Vishwamitra have done has spent such a austere life. He has done so much of sadhana, but for 25,000 years he has controlled his mind. But since that desire has not vanished, but just but at the tinkle of that anklet of that demigod, like what was it, Apsara, what was her name, Urvashi, yes. So Urvashi, but it's just as hearing those ankle bells of Urvashi, he just lost his patience, he just lost his everything, and he went for sense enjoyment. Similarly, we have also seen the example of Sabari Muni. He was also done so much of sadhana and so much of things, right? They were not in devotion, but they were also in sense control. They were yogis. So just looking at two fishes going for, it's Menika. Thank you. It's not Urvashi, it's Menika. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So Sabari Muni, but just looking at two fishes, he got agitated, and then he just left his yoga abhyas and he went for marrying the daughters of the king, right? All the 8 daughters of the king. So we can see that just doing the superficial control will not help us. Even after so many years of superficial control, we can be bewildered even by a single jerk of senses, right? If one senses become uncontrollable, we lose everything. So it's not, if we try to control the senses, we will never be able to do it. But if we engage our senses into positive things, like Ambarish Maharaj did. Ambarish Maharaj is a perfect example, who has devoted all his senses in the devotional service. Like for the eyes, he used to take darshan of the Lord. With his nose, he used to smell the flowers offered and tulsi offered to the Lord. With his ears, he used to sing the glory. He used to hear the glories of the Lord, the name of the Lord. And with his tongue, he used to sing the glories of the Lord. With his hands, he used to serve the Lord. And with his feet, he used to go to temple. right? So he was engaging all his senses in the service of the Lord and all the times. Such a devotee, we have seen the example of such devotee like Amrish Maharaj. He had controlled his senses not just by a superficial control of yoga, but he has done it through the devotional service. If we engage our senses in the devotional service, that is by of the seva of the Lord, if we can engage our eyes in taking the darshan of the Lord nicely, we will not be distracted by all those mundane TV serials and internet and so many things. And if we engage our ears in hearing the glories and names of Lord, our ears will not run after mundane music that is given by cinemas and so many things. So we will lose the taste of those. Similarly, the tongue. The tongue is the center point of our body. Why? Because this tongue is a sense which has alignment with the mind, with the genitals, with the stomach and everything. So since everything is in alignment, the mind, the stomach and the genitals are in alignment with the tongue. So if we can purify our tongue nicely, we will be able to control our mind, our genitals and our stomach also, right? So in when Rup Goswami says vacho vegam udropastha vegam, vacho vegam mansa krodha vegam, jiva vegam udropastha vegam. So there are six vega means urges. So first there are two urges. In the six urges, there are two urges relating to our tongue. One is vacho vegam, the urge to speak. We all have a lot of urge to speak all nonsense, speak all prajalpa. We may be telling so much of lies. We may be telling so many mundane things. We may be engaging our tongue in so speaking um, all sort of things, maybe sports commentary, maybe politics, maybe so many things we talk about. So we have a very strong urge to speak. And the other thing is that we have the urge to eat, the urge to taste so many things. So Srila Prabhupada says that there is no problem in tasting so many things, but we have such so beautiful bhoga offered to Lord Krishna. So why don't we taste only the things that is being offered to Krishna? And what is offered to Krishna? Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prachati. So Krishna says you can offer patram pushpam phalam toyam. They don't says andarnam mitnam chiknam. So Krishna doesn't take this all these things. We have to see what Krishna takes, and we have to offer him what is the best we can cook and offer it to the Lord. And when we can engage our senses in offering to Lord, we will be able to purify our senses. And once these senses are purified, we will not be distracted by our mind. The mind will be certainly in our 100% control. And once this mind becomes fully controlled, the mind becomes our best friend. And once this best friend is generated, the path of devotional service becomes very, very easy and full of enlightenment and happiness. Now, Srila Prabhupada, in this purport, Prabhupada, as you know, is very, very knowledgeable. So Prabhupada just don't talk about only the, he doesn't talk about only the devotional thing. He's here in this purport, he's nicely explaining what is Patanjali Yoga. So we have just, in our usual life, we see only Patanjali as a brand name, or we will only name a person behind it. But actually Prabhupada understand what is Patanjali. So Patanjali, here it says, they are saying that in the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, the soul is called as of two types, that is Pratyaga Atma and Paraga Atma. So all those who are running after sense enjoyment are Paragatma, while if we detach our soul from the sense enjoyment, it is called as Pratyagatma. So does our soul enjoy? No. Actually, the soul have a feeling that it may enjoy through senses, while the soul cannot enjoy through senses, because the soul is spiritual. The soul is spiritual. So soul, when connected to spiritual thing, soul is not a material element. So the soul doesn't enjoy at material level. We may be temporarily happy, but it cannot be permanent happiness. So somebody asks, is there no happiness in this world? Answer is no. The happiness is there, but it's too temporary. It is very, very temporary. And since it is so temporary, that is why this world is called as dukhalayam shashvatam. Means that the world is full of miseries. The world is full of problems and problems. So the happiness that we think it is there, it is only, you know, it's like you are in a forest fire and some breeze of cold air come for a second and goes away, but ultimately you are in forest fire, you can't escape. So we have to convert from paragatma to pratyagatma. Why? Because we cannot enjoy our senses. The soul cannot enjoy the senses, because that is only at the gross level. So point is, when the soul become detached from the sense enjoyment, soul understand the actual enjoyment is not in this looking at movies or just tasting all rubbish things. So when the soul understand that real enjoyment is not here, soul understand, oh, I have heard that there is a sugar cane, there's a bamboo like sugar cane, and there's a lot of sweetness in that. The juice is very sweet, but after engaging in devotional service, the soul understands the actual happiness is not just not just chewing the bamboo stick. It may be a bamboo stick, but we don't have to chew that bamboo stick. We have to chew the actual happiness, the actual sweetness is in serving the Lord. The actual happiness is with Krishna. It's not without Krishna. So we all have to understand that this world is like a bamboo stick. It's not a sugar cane. It may look like a sugar cane, but it is not a sugar cane. No matter how many times we chew it, no matter how many births we take, and we may try to enjoy, but there is no happiness in this world. We have to understand that this world is never going to give us pleasure. This world is never going to give us our anand, which we are all looking for. We are all looking for pleasures, but this material world is not going to give me that. We all have to first of all understand the basics. Why? Because this is only a temporary world, and temporary things do not give pleasure. It may look like a pleasure, but it is not the actual happiness. So now Srila Prabhupada is saying that there are 10 type of airs, which are called as prāṇavayu, apānavayu, vyanavayu, samanavayu, udanavayu. So all these are type of airs which are circulating, which are basically controlling our whole body. As you can see, that like lungs are expanding and contracting every second. It's contracting and expanding. The heart is also, the air is circulating in the entire body. And later on, the purpose also, Srila Prabhupada explains the role of chakras and everything. But point is, the ultimate conclusion which Srila Prabhupada is giving, that one is enlightened, one is enlightened when one engage all these in searching for self-realizations. So what is self-realization? Because this word is there in the translation also, this word is there in purport also. What is the self-realization? Self-realization means understanding who you are. Understanding that we are soul. We are soul and Jiver Swarupe Hue Nitya Krishna Das. So every soul has eternal role of being servant of the Lord. Unless and until we become the servant of the Lord, we will not be able to be connected to the Lord. And if once we are not connected to the Lord, we cannot be happy. We cannot be happy. So no matter we find so many, we may be thinking that, oh, I'm in distress, I am not happy. But maybe the other person is happy. We may think that although I may not be very happy, maybe I have a problem. I have a problem because of this man or this person, or because of these circumstances, or because of something else. We may think that we may be having problems, but actually all these things, whatever problem we think of, or whatever things we think of, they have no relevance. Actually we are having problem not just because of a person, not just because of some circumstances, not just because I'm in pain, not just because of something. We are in problem because we are in this world. We are not connected to Krishna. So till the time we are not connected to Krishna, we will not be happy. So once we start uh, chanting, right? Chanting and eating prasadam is two things which are very easy, and which chanting is like the starting process of bhakti, and also the epitome of bhakti, the ending point of bhakti. So chanting is such a important aspect of our devotional service, that if we purify our senses through chanting, hearing, and through eating prasadam, taking proper devotee association, and understanding and having darshan of the Lord, serving the Lord according to our Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru. So after that, we will be able to relish that taste. So you are all here. We are all in our busy life. We are all a part of very, very busy schedule. But even if after that, even after our busy schedule, we are all here because we all have tasted that little taste of the happiness that we get from our devotional life, isn't it? So we are all here just to know how are we going to increase this pleasure, how are we going to increase this devotional service. That is why we are all here, right? I'm given service, and to speak about the instruction of the Lord for today. And we all hear every day so many things, so many seniors talking about Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita, and so many Srila Prabhupada books. So point is that unless and until we connect, we understand completely, actually we are in distress because we are having hope of enjoying in this material world. Actually we are all in problems because we are not still admitting that we are servants of the Lord. We are having that still we are having the taste of sensual enjoyment, and because of that we are still not able to relish the taste of our chanting. So we have the taste of material world, and therefore we are not able to taste the chanting. We are still hearing so many mundane things, so we are not having the taste of relishing the Lord's name, the Lord's pastime, the Lord's beauty. We are not able to relish that. So because we are still here, we are not able to actually get the happiness. So once in a lecture, I heard a very beautiful point. It says that this is the glass of our life. So, and it is full of oil, it is full of oil. And this oil is all our problems and distress and troubles and dukkha, which we have all know, which we all see. So once you start pouring in water, and this water is basically our devotional life. So once you start pouring in water, the oil will float and the water will settle, and more and more and more and more the water will increase, and this oil will be washed away, this oil will go away, right? So the glass, if the glass is full of entire water, of Krishna consciousness, the oil of distress, the oil of troubles, the oil of this material world will go away. Otherwise, we will all stay here, and we are here for thousands and thousands and thousands of our births, not thousands and thousands, it's thousand commas, right? Billions of our births we are here, but we are not able to understand that the happiness is not here. So I have got a very beautiful story. We have heard a very beautiful story many a times. I'm just repeating one more story, that there was a saint who saw that a boy was jumping in the water. The boy was jumping in the water, searching something, and he was coming out. So the saint saw the boy that he is jumping in the water, searching for something, and then coming out, and doing the same process again and again and again and again. So saint was like, okay, let me help him. So saint asked the boy, what are you looking for? Why are you jumping in the water again and again? What are you searching for? He says, I'm searching for a mango. You can see a clear mango in the water, but when I jump, the mango vanishes. I'm jumping so many times. Every time I come outside, I see that beautiful mango, a very tasty mango there, but I'm not able to search it. So I'm jumping in the water again and again. So the saint said, oh Buddhu, this is what a Hindi word says. They look upside. You see a tree, a mango tree, in the air. You can see the tree, and there's beautiful mangoes on the tree. So you don't have to jump inside the water. You have to climb the tree, and you can take the mangoes. Similarly, this is with us. We are jumping in this material world again and again and again and billions of times, just to find that mango of happiness. But we actually don't understand that actually this is only a shadow, or it is just the image of the mango. It is not actual mango. The actual mango is lies in with Krishna. They are there with Krishna in Golok Vrindavana. So uh, once we just stop looking in this material world and we start looking upside to the spiritual world towards Krishna, we can see, oh Krishna, you're so beautiful. Oh Krishna, you are so merciful. Oh Krishna, you have done so much for us, but still we were so foolish that we were still looking into that shadow of mangoes, and we were jumping in this water of material world again and again and again, and taking so much of birth, death, old age, and diseases just to enjoy those shadow mangoes, which actually doesn't live in this world. This is not there. So they are there in our spiritual world. So we all have to really understand this fact, that unless and until we are going to control our senses, the mind is going to destroy us. Means, first point is that we have to control all these five senses, then the mind would be controlled. After controlling this mind, we have to move towards the purification of our intelligence through the association of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. And from that intelligence purification, we'll be able to purify our existence, purifying our subtle bodies, purifying our false egos. So many things will be purified, and once we purify our existence, Krishna is going to accept us. If Krishna is going to accept us, we will achieve the ultimate happiness. So I just conclude by saying that the senses could be controlled only when we engage our senses in the devotional service. Unless until we engage our senses in the pure devotional service, we will not be able to relish that taste, to relish that beauty of the devotional life. We will be still having those, we can see all those things around. We may be seeing so many disturbing elements in even in our devotional service, we may be seeing so many faults in the devotees. So whatever is there, we will not be able to relish the things unless and until we just focus our entire existence on the devotional service of the Lord. So this is how, so just by controlling these pranavayus and so many things, we will not be able to achieve or give pleasure to the Lord. And this is for our Gaudiya Vaishnavas, for a Vaishnav, it's like Srila Prabhupada has created such a beautiful house, such a beautiful home for the entire world to stay in. And we can all associate with each other. We can all understand each other. We can all help each other in doing devotional service. And we can all stay together for controlling, so that even if one person deviates, the other person can help him, that oh, please come back and don't look here and there. You will not be able to get happiness. Just come back to the feet of Srila Prabhupada, because ultimate destination, because ultimate deliverance is only in the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. So we have to just please by following the instructions of our spiritual master, and we have to read Srila Prabhupada books. We have to find some engagement in service of the Lord. If we do all of these, certainly these uncontrollable senses will come to controlling endpoint, and our mind would be purified, and they'll be engaged in the service of Lord. So this is a very beautiful verse where the importance of controlling mind or controlling senses are given by Krishna to Arjuna. So I think it's like, what is the time? It's like almost 6:13 now. So all my watches are not working nicely. If you anybody of you like to ask some question. You can unmute yourself, and if you want to ask any question. Archana Mataji, would you like to ask any question?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Dhanavad Pranam, Mataji.
Dhanavad Pranam.
So I can ask one question.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So Mataji, as you told, like the techniques of controlling the mind.
Yes.
Like we have to engage our services in the we have to engage our senses in the services of the Lord. So
Right.
it's been like quite many years we have been trying to engage our senses, but still mind flickers here and there. So like how we can like control that? Like, still
Okay.
we are practicing it for so long for how many years, but still our mind goes here and there. So like, what to do with that?
So then the question is very nice. And have you seen the example of Vishwamitra? How many years of sadhana he has done? Can you repeat?
25,000 years, I believe.
Yeah, 25,000. I also
25,000.
suppose it's 25,000. So, like, if he has done those yogi siddhi for 25,000 years, and still he got like pangs of those senses, how many years you are there in devotional life? I'm sorry, I can ask you.
I'm not even born.
No, still in the association of devotees, how many years you've been controlling your senses?
Mataji, around 12, 13 years. Yeah.
Right, almost 12, 13 years. So we have taken lots and lots of birth, and we have accumulated so much of dirt in every birth, billions of birth, and we are just learning how to be slave of material world, how to enjoy our senses, and we have just forgotten what we are, who we are, what is our eternal relationship with the Lord. We have forgotten everything, right? So just I believe that two, three things. One is kramashah. Somewhere it's like in Bhagavad Gita also, in Bhagavatam also, many times word kramashah comes. Kramashah means it's a slow process, right? It's a slow process because why it is slow? It is not slow because the process is slow. It is slow because we are little insincere, right? So we are not 100% devoted to our devotional life, and so we have so much of distractions. We, as I started this lecture, I said that we sometimes get loose up, we get loosed up, we don't like becomes 100% okay, like we are now 100%, now we will not deviate ourselves anywhere. So we are still in the hands of senses somehow or some other point. We sometimes become loose, or we sometimes eat something here and there. So point is that it's a slow process. One, we are improving. Number two, you can remember 10 years before what you were and now what you are. So you can compare yourself in those 10 years, and you must have seen that these 10 years must have changed you a lot. And if you are in a bona fide spiritual master's line, so you will feel that your level of consciousness must have improved. The control on senses must have improved. Like you were earlier, you were doing 100 errors a day, now you may be doing 10 errors a day. So point is that the things of improvement is going on, and more seriousness, more and more we become serious about our devotional life, more and more we become serious about our chanting process. So the things will improve in a on a faster pace. So I believe that one time Srila Prabhupada was also giving an example in, I think it is an example given in Bhagavatam, where one devotee asked almost the same question, that Prabhupada, we don't like, it seems that almost a life we were increasing, now we are almost stabilized. So Srila Prabhupada says that like when the aeroplane runs, we may feel that speed when he was running on the runway. We will feel, oh, we are running at such a high pace. And when it like takes off, the aeroplane takes off, we feel that, oh, we are like, oh my God, we are now up, and we can see the houses, they are very small, and we can see the clouds, and now we can see. But after sometimes we feel that we are on the stagnant path, like we are not everything is same. We feel that aeroplane is not moving, aeroplane is like almost it's feel like it stands still, right? So similarly, our devotional life, if we follow it nicely, in the beginning we may be seeing a lot of changes. At the initial point we may saying, oh, we have started following, we have left tea and coffee, and we have left this and that, and now we have started with Gashi fasting also. Now we have started with the chanting of our rounds also nicely. So now we are on the path. We are slowly, we were on the fast track. But once you fly high, then your devotional life may feel stagnant, but it is not stagnant, it's still moving. So you must have a strong faith on the lotus feet of the spiritual master, and you must strive for it. You must take full efforts, and like you must be serious on taking up your devotional life nicely, chanting your rounds nicely. I hope that you got the answer.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you for the encouraging words. Thank you. And it was very nice lecture. Thanks for that, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So any other question?
Nothing like that, Mataji. It's not a sort of question. It is just like it. What I found it is in this shloka, and you have also explained it, which we will have to learn is something like this, that we should be Krishna conscious. That is better than rather than to be. So, what is the importance of Ekadashi and Chaturmasa here? For when we are Krishna conscious, then Mataji, just let me know. That is also very important to go for all these Ekadashis and Chaturmasa.
Yeah, actually, the most important thing we like is the which we can't like if somebody says, I'll not give you water for next 2 days, So you cannot live without it, right? And if we say food, so this is all where we are here for, right? Tasty food and everything. So all these Ekadashi fast and everything are basically a mode of purifying our existence. We are leaving this water and this grains and everything for um, uh, becoming more austere, for becoming more, you can say that we are purified our senses. So this is like controlling senses, a way of controlling the senses, right? And like we do Janmashtami fasting, it is to tell the Lord, oh God, Lord, I love you. Then look, I love you so much that I have left even the grain and water, you know. So that is why we leave all these things. And when we do Ekashi fasting, yes, the sins are there in grains. So we don't want to have the effect of those sins. But I always say that we always, the entire from second chapter to, you know, so many chapters are there only on the sense control. So this is a way of controlling senses. Like we understand by doing Ekashi fast, oh look, I can live without grains for one day, or I can like just live on fruits, or I can just live on water for one day. So point is how much we believe and how much we have to go. So it all depends upon that, right? So
That is the part of checking our how could we control our senses.
yes, it's part
The
of
more
controlling
important,
senses.
but more important is to become Krishna conscious.
Yes.
That
So
is
it's a process. It's like part of Krishna consciousness. Why? Because it helps us in our sense control. So it
Yes.
helps us, right? You have pravitti also, you have nivritti also. So you do, pravitti means that you are engaging your senses in positive things, and nivritti means you are removing those senses from all those negative things, you know, for some one day, just not running after the taste of your tongue, but just putting this tongue on more and more chanting and more hearing. And so
Thank you, Mataji.
I hope that the time is. You have one more. I can take one more question.
One hand is up. Kiran has a hand up. Have you got a question or is it an
Okay.
accident?
Kiran Mataji,
You
would
can.
you like to ask a question?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, tell me about Pratyagatma or Paragatma.
Yes, Mataji, here Srila Prabhupada is explaining, actually, this is there in the yoga system conceived by Patanjali. Patanjali was a saint who has given this yoga system. He says that all those who are basically attached to sense enjoyment, if we are still running for the sense enjoyment, we are Paragatma. So Atma, our soul, thinks that we can enjoy through senses. So when the Atma find pleasure by enjoying the senses, it is called as Paragatma, right? But when the soul understands that actual happiness is not in the sense enjoyment, and therefore it becomes detached from the sense enjoyment, it is called as Pratyagatma. It's Pratyag matlab tyag, you know, understand? Pratyag.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
parag means you're attached. So when you attach to sense enjoyment, it is called as Paragatma. So right now as a devotee, we are we are losing this Paragatma type of feature, and we are moving towards Pratyagatma, but we are not 100% Pratyagatma. At least I'm not. So I'm not 100% Pratyagatma. So that is why still we are striving for better devotional services. Still we are on the process of purification and improvement.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
The
Krishna.
same thing Mataji, Srila Prabhupada ji already explained in this purport that as the Paragatma and the Pratyagatma, whatever it may be, but the most important thing is that the Krishna consciousness. When you are Krishna conscious, you are already in the process of from Paragatma to that Pratyagatma. As your all the senses are now attached to the Krishna, that is you are
Yes.
doing. So that is what is the attachment to the Krishna has become from Paragatma to Satyagatma.
Very nice
That
conclusion, Mataji. Concluded the entire purport also, and whatever the things I told you. And I would like that Lavangata Mataji should add on some points which I have missed. We would like to hear from Lavangata Mataji also.
Thank you very much. No, you gave a very nice class, and you very graphically explained the trouble that we have with the mind being attached to our sense objects and why we keep falling down even though we don't intend to. And I also like the point that you brought up, how we can gain strength from the association of devotees and help each other not stray from devotional service and not let our mind get control. So yeah, thank you very much. Great class.
Thank you,
And
Mataji. Thanks for giving me service. And
I hope you'll
thanks for
join us again.
engagement. Yes, Mataji.
We hope to hear from you again. Great.
Yes,
Thank you very
Mataji.
much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna,
Hare
all
Krishna.
devotees. All glories to Shri Prabhupada, Shri Gauranga Guru.